Diving the Jund Dinos, I just like to give a couple of reminders for my regulars. Tomorrow, we normally do Magic Online on Wednesday mornings, but Magic Online has a wonderful 9 hours of scheduled downtime tomorrow. So if you're into Standard on Arena, I'm going to be doing Standard on Arena tomorrow morning and tomorrow night. It's going to be all Standard tomorrow. Also, I'm going to be leaving Thursday morning for the STG Con and the Invitational, so I'm going to be offline from Thursday, likely until Tuesday morning. My flight gets in about 11 a.m. Tuesday, so I'll probably stream for a few hours Tuesday afternoon when I get back. I am bringing a laptop with me, so if I'm able to find a stable internet connection in the Roanoke area, I might stream for a little bit on Monday, since I don't have anything to do on Monday. My flight was like $200 cheaper to fly home Tuesday morning, so I decided to save $200 and fly home Tuesday morning as opposed to Monday night. How many reps am I gonna put in with Pirates tomorrow? Probably not a lot. I might squeeze it back in for one of the decks, but probably just an hour session again. Feel like I've played a lot. I'm pretty happy with how the list, where the list has gotten to. Yeah, I don't think you need the Duress and the Thought Erasures. I think the negates are better than Duresses because you really want more ways to counter Clarion. Look at that. Rampant growth on the play, chat. Rampant growth so busted they don't print it in Standard anymore, so like getting to play with that is quite fantastic. The Blur! Excited for Jund Dinos. Just finished building it in paper. Thank you for the 10 months. And Evan, love hearing the analysis and you play as you play. I've learned a lot. Well, thanks for 3 months of support, Evan, and thanks for the 10 months, Blur. Did I miss another one? Fluffy Pupfids, 12 months. I almost missed a knighting. I knight the defender of the realm, Fluffy Pupfins. Go forth and protect us from Twitch chat. Thanks for the entire year. All right, let's reveal. I'm actually going to reveal Carnage Tyrant rather than Regisaur Alpha because I don't want them to know that Regisaurus is coming. There aren't any double black cards in my main deck in this build, right? Hey, Wadakus, thanks for the brand new Twitch Prime. Welcome, welcome. So people that have been following Jund Dinos, it's a deck we've played on stream in the past. I've tried cutting the commune with the Dinos from this build because I wasn't super happy with that card in the past. I'm trying a couple of treasure maps, and I've got a couple 6-mana Vraskas at the top end. 6-mana Vraska is really good with treasure map because treasure map lets you eat the treasures that Vraska makes, which is sweet. Want to dig for my 6th land here. And we're definitely the control deck against these white aggro decks, so I'm not attacking with this. I want to leave these back on defense because if they have a removal spell for my 4/4, I don't want to take 3 points of damage. I want to leave back 2 blockers here. We want to like stabilize the board with giant monsters and then overwhelm them once we have a bigger board than they do. Sure. What's going on, Watermelon? Barney is very angry. Having none of it. So if they attack with all of these, I think I'm going to trade my 3/3 for one of them just to keep my health total high here. Yeah, not surprised to see this attack since it lets them flip the first fort. I'm going to go ahead and do this, I think. If they have that +2/+2 card. And we're dead? I think we might be dead. Woof. Woof. Oh gosh, they have a shock to finish this off? Justice Strike. Why wouldn't you do that pre-combat? Maybe I'm just supposed to take the draw here. Because like if I draw a 6-drop, I wouldn't be able to cast it. That scry might be wrong. Yeah, like, I think we were beating the Double History or the Pride of Conquerors, but I don't think we're going to beat the Double History and the Pride of Conquerors. We'll see. Still early. I am gonna scry this upkeep because this will flip the map. So if I draw a 6-drop, I can still cast it. Winford, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. She's keeping me employed here. That card's scary. All right, so we're dead on board. We're dead. I did cut the 2 copies of Finality we played previously, which definitely hurts the white matchup, right? There's a chance if mono white, it's not even a chance. If mono white is a matchup you want to hedge, you should make sure you play Finalities in this deck. I think I'm going to trim the Planeswalkers. It's going to be hard to protect. Winford, thanks for the 3 months. Thanks for wishing me the good luck. I'm hoping to just have fun. Magic's got a lot of variance in it. You should never go into a tournament expecting to do well. Expecting to do well in any given tournament's a good recipe for ending up a salty little monster. So just go in, play decks that you like, have a good time. How pumped am I to play Paper Magic? I'm not looking forward to the piles of shuffling. It was like round 4 or 5 at the Nerd Rage tournament last weekend. I was like, man, my hands kind of hurt from constant shuffling. Of course, that's also modern, so like there's more shuffling in modern than in standard, so that's nice. In fact, one of the big reasons to play elves in modern is once you've presented your deck and like kept your hand from your mulligans, you only shuffle for what's it called? The stupid what's its name, clan caller? Arena works on OS X the same way Arena works on Linux, which is by using wine technology. Runs pretty fine. It's a great draw. Yeah, Mortal Sun is sweet. All right, so I kind of have to kind of make a decision here. Am I... Arena crashes on wine... Arena crashes on some iterations of Windows frequently, too. That's not a wine crash. That's an Arena crash. Arena leaks memory, and I have to restart it consistently after a couple of hours on my computer upstairs. Thanks for making awesome content, but following you since the SCG days. Thanks for the 3 months of support, Unholy. Welcome back. Thanks for the quarter of a year. Thanks for allowing this to be my job. So by playing the elf here, I'm kind of committing, or I'm like hoping to draw the untapped land next turn to jam this Carnage Tyrant. What are the reasons for main deck Brontodon? The main reason for main deck Brontodon is that I'm looking for a quality 3-drop that just like has a decent body. I think I'm gonna blow this up and then cast Ritual Asset. Should I just play Carnage Tyrant? Yeah, I'm gonna play Carnage Tyrant now. Yeah. Enchantments are really bad against this deck because we have Brontodon and we have Planeswalkers and we have Trophy. Honestly, it's possible that I shouldn't play 4 trophies in this deck and just like 2 of them should be cast downs in the main. So they don't have Pride of Conquerors here. If they do, it doesn't give 2/2. This Carnage Tyrant block is fine. So I'm taking 8 here to get Carnage Tyrant down this turn, but I think that's fine. Cast Almost Plague Wind. How good are Grixis controllers with Bolas? They leave a lot to be desired in my experience. Grixis has a really hard time answering this card. There just aren't great Grixis answers to Carnage Tyrant. So they have 6 cards in their hand here, but I've got Carnage Tyrant, so I'd like to kill this and attack you for 10. How does that make you feel, opponent? Unless we get Cleansing Nova here, we should be in a pretty good spot. Yeah, and the problem is, like, Eldest Reborn often isn't an answer to Carnage Tyrant, because a lot of the best and most popular Carnage Tyrant decks in this format, like, have Llanowar Elves and Explorer creatures and lots of other poopers that, like, surround their Carnage Tyrant. So, like, the Edict effects like Plaguecrafter and Eldest Reborn often don't kill it. Yeah, white-based control decks get to play Cleansing Nova and Settle the Wreckage, which gives them a lot of clean answers to Carnage Tyrant. Felt pretty good. This cast out's probably better than Trophy. Do I want one of these Planeswalkers? Vraska's probably not terrible, but is she better than anything else I'm already playing? I feel about Vraska versus Treasure Map. I probably don't have the mana to fumble around with Treasure Map in this matchup, and like this makes a constant stream of threats. Yeah, Poisoner is okay against Carnage Tyrants and Grixis, but the problem is Grixis often has to use its health total aggressively as a resource in a lot of those matchups too. So, Carnage Tyrant trampling for 5 over Poisoner is often lethal. This hand is incredibly awkward. Don't mind me, this is just my Damnation Llanowar Elves deck. So, like, do I keep this and, like, not play Elves on 1 and hope to rip a black to Ritual on 4? I think so. I think that's the plan. And, like, if they're super aggressive and look like they're gonna kill us or do too much damage before 4, I can Moment of Craving. I didn't play Elves on 1 because I planned a Ritual of Soot on 4. Yeah, I saw Ollie playing some weird red enchantment last night that makes you choose stuff to, like, try and kill Carnage Tyrants, but it involved, like, flipping coins to kill Carnage Tyrants. So I was like, this must have been a Richard Garfield card. Garfield loves flipping coins. I think I'm pretty happy with this 1-for-1 here. Just, like, trade my Ritual of Soot for your History of Benalia, effectively. Is Haphazard Bombardment a card from Dominaria? Because if it is, I would bet a significant amount of money it was a Richard Garfield design. Holy shit. Well, that doesn't bode well for us. Yeah, I probably should have played Ripjaw Raptor there. I wanted to hold up this in case they have Legion War Boss. Oh no. I'm glad I have the second ritual listed, I guess. I'm glad I have this second ritual listed, I guess. Alright, dead to the next Siege Gang Commander. It's funny, we just got done talking about how enchantments aren't very good against this deck on average. They just like immediately get dumpstered by enchantments. Yep, that's how that goes sometimes. Woo. How are you doing, folks? I'm sure many of you out there enjoyed that. Divine Visitation is a card that a lot of people like to submit decks in. If you're new to the stream, welcome. If you're returning here, welcome back. Glad I didn't scare you away. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you've enjoyed my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here. I love what I do, but the reason why I'm able to do it as a job is because of the wonderful support of all those subs. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 5 months now and really love it. I don't think we'd ever go back to traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on your new bed with them by checking out links bit.ly/HugelBedUS and bit.ly/HugelBedCA. CoolStuffInc.com buy and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, you might have heard my shuffling deck going during that match. Keeps my hands busy. My shuffling deck is protected by none other than my BCW Supplies Elite Guard sleeves. Using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com, you can save 10% on all of your orders of sleeves, deck box, and all sorts of other great stuff there. All right, we got a little bit got there against red-white match one with Jund Dinos. Let's head on into the second here and see if our big smashy dinos can do some work. Listen, chat, don't knock sleeping with Lisa until you've tried it. It's quite wonderful. Hand seems fine. We don't have any ramp spells in it, but like I've got trophy to slow them down. I might split these trophies with cast downs with the Brontodons in my main deck. That's a little scary. Oh, am I jamming treasure? I think I'm just jamming treasure map. Yeah, I think we just trophy the obsession here rather than the creature, because they can't dive down. Got him! Got him! Nice magic card. Nice Magic the Gathering card. Ah! Ah! What a roller coaster of sadness and emotions, chat. Just an utter up and down. Dropping in to say hey before I start messing with the new Hearthstone expansion. Have a blast at the Invitational. Have fun with the Hearthstone expansion, Nivek. Thanks for the well wishes. Hope you have a good weekend. Alright, so we're looking for a Carnage Tyrant at this point. Scatter me, baby. No, don't actually scatter me, I was lying. Alright. Y'all ready to race? Y'all ready to race? We are at 14 and they only have a 2-2 in play, so. Yep. And like, if they counter the next Regisaurus, I'm like a little bit sad, but like at the same time, that means I still have 7 in play. You got my hopes up, Jeff. I heard you say have a good weekend, and then I realized it's only Tuesday. Yep, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Don't mind if it does. There's some matches where map is about generating card advantage. There's other matches where it's about ramping yourself up. If you would like to eat my 3/3 and take 11, I am okay with that exchange. Enjoy. Yeah, I think there's a good chance they do this. Wonder if they have dive down to keep their thing alive. Yep, sure. I'm at 12 and they are at 7. Your move. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all I got. No attack with the Tempest Shin is very, very good for us. Alright, this is less good for us. Alright, so if they have Counterspell plus Merfolk Trickster, we are dead. Yep. Yep. I believe we've won. Because both of these have Trample. This token has Trample. Fun fact, that token has Trample. So if they counterspell this, they're dead to attacks. Oh, I guess they could have had Trickster there, right? Yeah, Trickster would have kept them alive there. Woo! Guess who packed a Plummet, chat? Guess who packed? Who's got 2 thumbs and packed a Plummet? This guy right here. Treasure map is slow. Vraska is slow. Vivien is slow. We did gain a significant amount of card advantage from killing them while they had cards in their hand. You're not wrong. What do we think of this configuration? I think I like it. I guess Ripjaw is like just worse than this one, right? I just like would rather have a 5/5. It makes the deck significantly more affordable. We just have so many ways to interact with like enchantments that like moving some trophies to cast down just like kind of makes sense. The white mid-range decks are tough for pirates. That's great. Turn 1 Llanowar Elves. Snap it off. I'm gonna decline attacking into Merfolk Trickster here. yeah, going from playing Arena to playing Magic Online, everything just feels like it's in slow motion. So I'd have to imagine that watching it feels very similar. I boarded into Jund Llanowar Elves. We're gonna board back into Dinosaurs for the third game. That seems like a better plan. Blocking. One of the things a lot of people miss, and this is because control players hate playing win conditions because they're masochists. The best way to beat Carnage Tyrant in standard is block. Just put a thing in front of it. Crackling Drake is often a 6/4 or larger. Trade in combat. Nice counter spells, opponent. Here's my 7/6. Go. Yeah, the Twitch extension is A+. It's very, very good. Helps arena content by a significant margin. I would really love for them to spend a mana here. Wow, that's a good Duress. Wow, that's a good Duress. Sweet, this is great for us. We even tapped off our black mana here, so it looks like we don't have removal. And they're gonna dive down and we're gonna plummet. Shishisha! Activated my trap card! Whoocha! Punch him right in the face. No big deal. No big deal. Welcome to Thunderdome. Pocket sand. That's exactly what that was. That was a pocket sand moment. Oh, that was great. No, during their upkeep, they'd be able to use the what's it called? The Siren Storm Tamer. So I'm gonna cut the third trophy and put a cast down in the main. And actually, I think I have so many of these. I'm gonna split these main 2-2 and put the third trophy in the board. I think I like that. Pocket sand, for those, it's a It's a King of the Hill reference, which is a cartoon show from the late 90s. Is it late 90s? God, King of the Hill is pretty old at this point, right? Dale Gribble. The old Rusty Shackleford. "18 months. We just had twins. What's going on, Singer? Thanks for the 1.5 years. Welcome back." Sure. We've got 3 lands. We have to pay mana for 2 of them, but we have 3 lands. If we rip a land off the top, we could turn 3 Vivien on the play, which is pretty good. Pretty not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and cast my Doomblade here. Worth noting that this cast down is significantly better than giving them a land with Assassin's Trophy here would have been, right? Bilbo the Burglar. Thanks for the 8-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Untapped land. Untapped land. Come on. Come on. Poppy wants an untapped land. All I want for Christmas is an untapped land. Not a 5-drop. I said an untapped land. Do 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 do. Dang it, Bobby. I said I wanted an untapped land. That boy just ain't right. Yep. Thankfully, this is actually, like, this matchup is part of the reason why I added Thrashing Brontodon to the deck. Like, Thrashing Brontodon lines up really well against what the opponent is doing.
Every fight makes me stronger.
It makes me stronger. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Gum this board up, chat. Gum it up. Things are looking less good for our hero now.
So it's going to be like that, huh?
Carnage Tyrant's a mythic that's 4x playable and one of the best decks in the format. Of course, it's $35. Welcome to Paper Magic: The Gathering. Don't you wish Arena had a secondary market? Don't you really wish Arena had a secondary market so you could get gouged on the price of cards when they're in demand? As someone who's an adult who can admit when they were wrong, I was wrong about wanting a secondary market on Arena. What we have today, minus the issue with 5th cards that we have, I think is quite fantastic. Yeah, mythics are going to be mythic on complexity, not power level. Laughs at MTG Finance. Is that like one of the biggest lies Wizards of the Coast has ever told their player base? No, I'm not gonna help you speculate on Magic: The Gathering cards. In fact, take a break for asking me to. Do I just shoot Legion's Landing in response here? I think I do, right? I agree. I think even with the 5th card problem that Magic Arena has, it's still better than a secondary market would be. How do we feel about Vivien plus while leaving a black source up? Dig for a land. Is that greedy? I kind of like it. It might induce a bad attack out of them too.
How this thing goes is up to you, pal. The wilds are my shield.
Yep. Oh, ain't that a bag of dicks? The biggest problem is the wild cards. My friend wants to play tier 1 decks. When he takes that, he needs a ton of mythic and rares. He'd easily have to spend $300, $400 for a deck that he could buy in paper. Nah, I'm just timing you out. That's hot nonsense. Guess what? Unlike many parts of the internet, when you come into my chat and post something that's factually incorrect, your message gets removed. It does not cost $400 to build a tier 1 deck on Magic Arena. It costs like $100 or $150 tops, depending on how many mythics are in your deck. Don't come in here completely uninformed and spout stuff off like it's fact and the truth, because it's really not. In fact, one of the reasons why Arena's economy is great is because building good tier 1 decks costs the same as building garbage decks, because a good mythic and a terrible mythic cost the same amount of money. Thousand Year Storm costs you the same on Arena as Carnage Tyrant. People like that are just like married to Magic Online and just like want to spread lies and uncertainty to like try and chase people away from something that's otherwise great. Like, it's fine to say you don't like Arena's economy or you prefer a secondary market. Those are subjective things, but don't come in here and just post things that are just outright lies and untrue. And like, there's a chance that person's not being malicious and they're just like willfully ignorant, because there are a lot of people that are uninformed that spout lots of opinions, but just like, get informed if you want to have strong opinions on things. Is Plummet actually a playable card in this deck versus the more... I think the mana efficiency is really important. And like, if you look at my deck, Chewy, I have infinite ways to destroy enchantment. So I'd much rather have a 2-mana thing than another way to destroy enchantments. Working on a beautiful Xmas present for you, though at some point in development, I don't know if you should be happy or terrified. Oh, lordy. Well, if this hand gets to draw a land for the next 2 turns, it's going to be really good. If we don't draw lands, we're going to be sad, but hand's got some tools in it. Hey, Rudy, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Awesome, thanks for the support. Support like that keeps me here playing Standard Magic. Man, if we get a land again next turn, we're just gonna curve Reggie into Reggie and just eat them for breakfast. All right, that's actually a pretty good draw still, right? Like, they're going to need to, and this is one of the reasons why Ritual of Soot is so good in this deck, is the dinosaurs force them to go wide around us because they can't go through us because our things are big, and then Ritual of Soot just, like, punches them in the face for going wide. I hate when I see someone responding to something and then I can't find what they're responding to because it looks like I wanted to say something. Shutting down reasonable debate doesn't help either. Saying something, and this is a big part where a lot of the FUD, and especially people that are on the far right side of the political spectrum fall. Posting things that are factually incorrect and blatant lies isn't partaking in a reasonable debate. It's spewing nonsense. That's not how you have a reasonable debate. At no point in a reasonable debate do you say stuff that's factually incorrect, except to say, this is incorrect. Unless you're giving it as an example to say it's wrong, at no point does posting things that are wrong help a reasonable debate. There are some things that are opinion-based, and there's some things that are fact-based, and things that just are and aren't, and posting things that are wrong isn't part of a reasonable debate. The opponent probably had something come up in real life. Well, I don't know what you did personally. You probably broke one of the other stream rules. There's a bunch of rules on this stream. Be sure to follow them or you're going to get timed out, because that's just how the rules work. So, I'm just going to leave this back this turn. Everything's political. Everything in life is about politics. If you can say, I don't care about politics and they don't impact my life, that's a political statement that you come from a place of privilege where the politics and things that people vote and make decisions on don't impact you as a person. It means you're more fortunate than a lot of people who can't say that. What's going on, the Oratog? Thanks for the biddies. I appreciate that. My dinosaurs have large booties, and these knights are very tiny. I didn't attack there because I didn't want them to. I didn't have a blocker to play. The origin of the word idiot is from the Greek word that describes people who don't care about politics. That's actually funny. Do you have a source on that one? I would love a source for that one, Gabriel. Page that on a Wikipedia page somewhere. Thanks for watching, Conrocket. I often say streaming is exactly like being a parent. You have to speak slowly and repeat yourself often. Wah! Being nice to people and accepting that you have things that other people don't have is leftist ideology. No, it's caring about other people and being socially conscious of the things that I have that other people don't. It's not leftist ideology. Unless you're saying that it's to the left to care about people. All right, I think now we just smash, right? I'm gonna attack with everything other than this Llanowar Elves, because I can Moment of Craving Aurelia when she blocks, and she's probably obligated to block here. Yes, yeah, exactly, Draven. You really need to, like, you should, like, take back and have some reflection that, like, being left leaning means, like, having some amount of caring for your fellow human beings, and then, like, think about where you want to stand. All right, so they're dead on board. Got him. All right, so we gotta take the next game on the play. So when everything didn't break their way, we had a pretty good shot there. Do I want this Vraska in my deck? I almost feel like I want the Vraska because they're playing Conclave Tribunal, and like having more ways to punish them for having Conclave Tribunal seems really good. Is it better than Carnage Tyrant? And she might be better than Carnage Tyrant. Cursory glance does not back up the claims of the etymology of idiot. Layman does not equate to someone who does not care about politics. Is this fast enough? This might be too slow on the draw. Might be too slow on the draw. No one drop is good for us. Yeah, that's exactly right, Symbol. It's not that it's too political, it's that and that's honestly one of the things that, like, the Magic the Gathering community as a whole, especially interacting with other gaming communities, is far more progressive on a lot of issues than other gaming communities tend to be. Man, this 3/4 is about to be great. Hopefully, if they don't have a removal spell for this here, this into this is going to gum the board up. If they have a way to take this off the board, we could be in a little bit of trouble. We're going to be under a lot of pressure. If they take this off the board, we're taking 6 this turn, plus they're flipping this. So we're trying to dodge the, something like that. So we're down to 11 here. If we can dodge another removal spell... If we can dodge another removal spell, we could be okay here. Worth remembering that this Dragonskull Summit is currently coming into play tapped because we have 2 basic forests and then these. So block here, get got by lightning strike. So we're down to 7. The opponent's deck doesn't really have traditional reach in it, but they do have access to some flying creatures. So if we can dodge flyers while we stabilize the ground, we should end up in an okay spot here. So I can put this into play tapped, and I can play the Territorial Allosaurus here, which locks the ground up kind of nicely. They can make it a Danto token and then attack me down to 5 next turn while giving this indestructible, but they have plenty of health, so they don't care about that. If you look in your Twitch notifications, it should tell you who gifted you a sub. All right, so that's a tough nut to crack. So we're dead Pride of Conquerors here. That's a land, God bless. All right, so we're going to 3. And I get to draw a card. Is this legendary? It is. So I probably want to double trophy this turn, right? I think I want to double trophy this turn. So I need to double trophy because otherwise I'm dead. Yeah, it's fine. Let's steer away from the political topic now. I've said my piece that I always say about being nice to people, and then we scoot other people along. And whenever, yeah. So they'll attack here. I'll trophy this and I'll trophy this. Yeah, I'm gonna trophy Marshall and I'm gonna trophy Baffling End. And then I'm gonna block a Danto and 2 of these and I'll take 1. Yeah, we're gonna trophy this for a surprise blocker for sure. And like, as long as they're attacking into Ripjaw Raptor here, I actually end up pretty okay here. So, am I supposed to play around Pride of Conquerors here? I don't think so. They only have 1 card. I think I'm supposed to just save my health total. That 1 extra point of health is really valuable. So I died at Pride of Conquerors with this line because they'd make this a 3/3, but I think it's correct to do this because like the difference at being at 2 and being at 3, it means I can take an extra hit from one of these later. Yeah, there's a good chance they would have used it too, right? All right, let's play Vraska because she starts making a string of blockers. She also ults really quickly and then puts them to 1.
Stand down.
So we're looking to fade heroic reinforcements at this point. They just swung with the Marshal too if they had Pride. That's a good read. Yeah, this deck, if this deck can stabilize the early game against these small creature decks, it definitely has a lot of game going into the late game, right? Because your creatures are just very large. Alright, well, Vraska's not making a token next turn. Shocked for no reason. Concedes. Okay, sure. I think the game was heading in that direction. Maybe they didn't have heroic reinforcements in their deck. They played Pride of Conquerors game 1, which kind of implies that they might not have heroic reinforcements in the 75. A lot of these decks don't play both Pride and heroic reinforcements. The shock concede gambit, right? Run it. All right, let's smash another one, shall we? Thanks, Spy. And I think what's tolerated at local game stores probably varies a lot from game store to game store, right? Like that is a lot of influence depending on who owns the place. This hand is great. Turn 2, play activate map. Turn 3, Ripjaw. Where do you stand on the debate of Pride versus heroic reinforcements? I think I prefer reinforcements just because it's more live after a sweeper, whereas like Pride is trying to get under sweepers. But I haven't really tested it a ton, so I don't really know. I don't really know that I have a straw. I haven't played that archetype a ton. I know sitting on the other side of the table, I would much rather sit across from heroic reinforce or Pride of Conquerors on average, I think. Is it greedy to bottom this? Yeah, I think that's true too, Gabriel Paints. A lot of small businesses run on very thin margins. Yeah, exactly. Whereas like here, you know, if I take a strong opinion on something and, you know, I lose, you know, 5 or 10 subs, it's like not gonna put me into bankruptcy at the end of the day. No Lava, thank you for the 6-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So keeping me employed here. Yeah, I think, in fact, so in 2 days, on December 6th, we're supposed to be getting a big announcement from Wizards of the Coast regarding organized play, and they're announcing it at a video game conference that's going on this weekend, so hopefully it's going to involve an announcement that has to do with Magic Arena. All right, we're not going to kick this with Tocatli Honor Garden play. Things worth noting. Ooh, that's a good one. Found a piece of candy. Yeah, so we mentioned this Jeskai Angels deck is really good against pirates. It's really bad against dinosaurs. Yeah, just like nice metagame card. This is my deck that doesn't care about it. Have a good time. Yeah, usually they have blue for Teferi and some amount of counter magic in their sideboard. Regular red-white Angels has a hard time against control, so gaining Teferi and counterspells gives you an easier time in those style of matchups. Not Aurelia, that's good for us. I'd be very surprised if an organized play announcement had anything to do with Brawl. I'm just gonna bottom that. I want max chances to find a removal spell here. Played at a PPTQ this weekend and had a judge ruling I'd like your thoughts on. One player casts Duress, thinks for a few moments, then places Duress in their graveyard and places the spell. The player being Duress picked their hand up. The player that Duress asked them to put their hand back down so they could write down. The player that Duress, they didn't have to do that because Duress had already resolved. As soon as you pick a card with Duress, picking a card with Duress is the last part of casting the spell, which means you should be done resolving your spell when you pick a card with Duress. So if you pick a card with Duress and your opponent wants to pick their cards back up, that's allowed. So again, Allosaurus doesn't do anything when kicked because Tocatli Honor Guard is on the play. That's why, for the sake of speed, when I'm playing competitive tournament Magic, if I'm gonna leave my hand up because I want my opponent to play faster, I always explicitly say to my opponent, I'm gonna leave these face down until you've written them all down. Let's pick one so we can keep the pace up. Like, I communicate that with my opponent. Then obviously once I've said those words to my opponent, I'm committed to that. You can't lie to your opponent like that. But saying things like that to keep the pace of the game going is something that's worth doing a lot of the time. Yep, yeah, tomorrow's gonna be all standard. So Magic Online has downtime tomorrow, and I want to jam a bunch of standard before the Invitational. I don't leave my hands up permanently, but I do tell the other player, like, I'm gonna do this till you write this stuff down because it's good for both of us, right? Like, the game playing faster is good for both players. No, I'm not going to be doing more Modern before the weekend, Draven. I leave Thursday morning. My flights were like $200 to $300 cheaper flying Thursday morning to Tuesday morning. So I ended up getting the flights on those days. The dinos are angry and hungry. Urgh. Do I like the Jeskai Gateway deck? I do not. I think there is not a compelling reason to not play win conditions in your control decks in standard right now. I think there are so many good ways you can end the game in standard that not playing win conditions is silly. What do we think of this configuration? So, like, I don't think I bring in Moment of Cravings in this matchup because I think there's, actually, Ritual of Soot probably isn't very good. I feel like I have enough ways to block their stupid 3-1 that I just don't care. Slaith, thanks for the 11 months. Welcome back. I appreciate that. Yeah, you can find the decks we played today listed in my deck queue, and you'll be able to find them on my YouTube channel later. Regisaur did not make a token because there was a Tecatliana Garden play. Do you catch any of the Artifact? Yeah, I watched a good bit of the Artifact tournament over the weekend. It looked like a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to playing Artifact competitively. I don't plan to play a ton of competitive Paper Magic next year. I think the Nerd Rage series out of Chicago, I plan to play in 3 or 4 of their tournaments over the course of next year, but I'm probably gonna take a step back and just stop doing SCG stuff moving forward. Sure, it's a slow, awkward win condition. I mean, when I say play win conditions, I mean cards that are proactive and win the game very quickly. Cards like Crackling Drake, cards like Niv Mizzet. SCG, Star City Games. Star City Games runs one of the larger independent tournament circuits. This hand's fine. Not amazing, but fine. Bronte's pretty good. I mean, Paper Magic in general. What I think about Paper versus Online, I greatly prefer playing Magic Online compared to Paper. It's much faster to play Magic on the internet as opposed to playing in Paper. Yeah, basically, Milk Dud, the amount of money it costs to go play in a Paper tournament just doesn't. Did I board in Ritual of Soot? I don't remember. I ended up not playing Ritual of Soot, right? Let me get another Black Source here anyways. I'm gonna get another Black Source anyways. Yeah, it's just really... Oh, that was a mistake. I should have gotten a green source. I can't go Brontodon Elf next turn now. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, I would definitely play in competitive arena tournaments if I ran them. CSI does not run large Magic tournaments. They have a couple of local game stores, but that's about it as far as I'm aware. Yeah, kinda punished here. I'm gonna start by attacking with my Brontodon, because if they block, I can cast down the token. I don't think that's true, Jimmy. The amount of people I meet at tournaments versus not, like, it's nice to meet some people at tournaments, but like the amount of money it's gonna cost me, not only in actual dollars to like go to the tournament this weekend, like it's gonna cost me upwards of like $600 or $700 to go to the tournament this weekend, and then it's gonna probably cost me, you know, $1,000 or more to take 5 days off of work, right? Like I'm losing a quarter of my work week, like going to the tournament this weekend. And like Twitch is the type of thing where the more you do it, the more you build up and the more people you get. So like anytime I'm spending doing something else, like I definitely think based on my experience with Twitch stuff so far that like spending the weekend playing Magic as opposed to just streaming all weekend is definitely a net negative for me. All right, this screams Settle the Wreckage, right? It was pretty negligible, Draven. A quarter of a month. I said a quarter of a week. I meant a quarter of a month. Yeah, and like, I'm looking forward to going to the Invitational, right? And like, people who sub here basically sent me to the invite, right? Like, we took in like 1,500 in donations almost for it. So like, that's why I'm going. Like, if the stream hadn't paid for it, I wouldn't go to the Invitational. The nice thing about the Nerd Rage events is that they're going to be one-day tournaments. And actually, 2 of the Nerd Rage tournaments next year are at a water park hotel. So I'm like going to take Christy and the kids with me to the water park hotel for the weekend. And we'll like, I'll play Magic on Saturday and we'll hang out with the kids in the pool in the water park on Sunday. What is a water park hotel? It's a hotel that has a water park at it, an indoor water park.
My newest friend.
Oh, Vivien. There's actually not that good of a chance that I get feature matches this weekend at the Invitational, Jackal Girl. So, like, I'm pretty likely to get feature matches at an open because all of the SCG regulars have buys rounds 1 and 2. But at an Invitational, I'm going to have a very good record in order to get featured on camera. Because, like, they're going to feature, and rightfully so, they're going to feature their SCG players for the first couple matches. Which that's how it should be, right? Like, they should feature the players that are regularly playing on their circuit. SCG never comes close to my house. The closest SCG comes to my house is Indianapolis, and Indianapolis is a 2-hour and 45-minute drive plus a time change, which means I can't really day trip for it. How hard is it to earn just one buy during? It's basically impossible to earn. It's very difficult if you're not playing a lot of opens to have buys. Yeah, they don't go to Chicago. Chicago's one of the most expensive cities in the country to have conventions in. I live in the middle of Illinois. I'm like 2.5 hours from St. Louis, Chicago, and Indianapolis. Like, if I'm here in the middle, like, Indy's over here, Chicago's up here, and St. Louis is down here. Something like that. All right, on to game 3. Milwaukee is a 3.5 hour drive for me, so it's actually further than Indianapolis. It doesn't have a time change, but it's further in terms of like time in the car. And actually, Nerd Rage is actually doing one of their 5Ks in Bloomington, where I live, next year, which is sweet. So I'm planning to do, they're doing a 5K in Bloomington in March, I think, and then the water park ones are April and June. I think I want this extra Vraska on the play. I'm gonna cut this Carnage Tyrant. Arena plays so unbelievably fast compared to Magic Online leagues. Ross's deck seems sweet. It's doing something powerful and proactive. Would you ever suggest someone who has played casual Magic for 2 to 3 years is viable to go to competitive Magic as a job? It's not viable for anybody to go to competitive Magic as a job. Almost no one makes money playing Magic tournaments. Almost no one makes money playing Magic tournaments. The people who make money on Magic tournaments are the people selling Magic cards. The tournament organizers make money on Magic tournaments. That's why they run them. So for people that might not be familiar with my background, I played a ton of SCG events between 2014 and 2016. I qualified for 2 of their 3 Players Championships tournaments. I played 25 to 30 weekends of Magic every year for like 3 years. God bless my loving wife. And during that time, I would have lost money at least one of the 3 years if I hadn't been writing. The other years, I broke even or came close to breaking even. And, like, I did well on their tournament series. And, like, it's still just, like, break-even type stuff. I would love to draw a card. The payouts for GP circuits versus SCG are significantly less, are they not? So, the total prize money at a Grand Prix is more than the total prize money at an Open, but the money to player ratio at an Open tends to be better than a Grand Prix because there's less people at Opens. That's not true, P33. What are Turtenwald's career earnings? He's got to be into the 6 figures by now, right? But, like, that's over, like, a decade. For context, the top, here's some actual data for you. The top grossing professional Magic player of all time from any Magic tournament series, which is Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa, and he's made less than $500,000 in 2 decades. So in 20 some odd years, he's made less than $500,000. And, like, that is, that's $500,000 over 20 years isn't nothing, but you have to remember, he's the best of the best. He's the #1 earner. That's tippy top Best in his game. Yes, and that's earnings, not profits. That doesn't count what it cost him to get to Magic tournaments. Here's a good rule of chat. Here's a good rule of thumb for my chat and most other people's chats. Don't come into my chat. Don't come into my chat and tell me that you hate or dislike another content creator. That's not positive or constructive. Keep that to yourself. Not everybody has to like everyone. Yeah, he flies from Brazil. Yep. I think going into esports will make earning money for Magic better. Yeah, definitely. And also, like, if Magic moves into being more digital for their events, there's less cost, right? Like, if I can play a big Magic tournament from my home, it doesn't cost me $500 to go to a Grand Prix or an Open for the weekend. So, like, my profits are better even if the money stays the same, just because I don't have to travel. I mean, like, why would they need to pay people more? There's so many people that play in their events. Why? Like, that's just bad business, right? Why would you give more money? Like, if anybody who's sick of however much they earn, like, why would you pay people more? If a bunch of people quit, there's dozens of others flocking to take their spots. Hey Jeff, hope you have a great time this week and resolve many curious obsession triggers. Thank you, Def Lobster. And thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Jun Dinos. Okay, so I felt like the changes in this list were good today. What do we think? People who had watched the previous Jun Dino leagues, how did we feel about the treasure maps and the Vraskas? Can't get those sweet bits in a paper tournament? You're not wrong, Croker. I felt like the maps and the Vraskas were both very good. Yeah, treasure map's just like one of the best cards in the format, right? I think I'm gonna update the list on my site to this. You can't have feature matches play under different conditions than the rest of the tournament. It makes getting feature matches special and gives a competitive advantage or disadvantage to certain players based on what their experience is with the Technology Conqueror. Yeah, the Vraska, I felt like it was all good, right? And like treasure map with Vraska is just like icing on the cake, right? Because like treasure map makes Vraska's down tick draw a card. All right, if you want to see more of this deck and iterations of this deck as we've gotten to this point, be sure to check out my website, click standard decks and click Jun Dinos on there. We're gonna be moving right along to our next deck this afternoon. So looks like it's Grixis Dragons here, which is actually another map we're gonna shove some treasure maps into here.